This is Andrew with AndroidCentral.com, and we're taking a look at Neatly for Twitter beta. Neatly, as you would guess by the name, is designed to be clean and simple in its user interface, and I think that they've executed to that name pretty well here. Your basic timeline view is scrollable just like any other Twitter timeline is, but the only other interface action you have here is a single button to compose a tweet with just some simple ways to add pictures and add locations and things of that sort. Going back to the main timeline interface, it shows pictures and video in the timeline to follow Twitter's guidelines here. So there's an image loading. And everything else is hidden behind this pull-in panel here. We're looking at a general hollow user interface with no menu key and just this basic slide-in panel. And the panel hides behind it a way to switch user accounts, so it does have multiple account support, and then it also shows your account and your timeline picture in a nice nicely visualized way. And then you also have these different ways to look at your timeline. You have your regular timeline, a smart timeline, and then timeline based on topics, and then a custom one that you can sort by just a set of users or just some keywords or just some hashtags. You also have the normal DMs, mentions, lists, and search. So if you go into the smart timeline, it shows a more concise view of what it thinks will be people that you want to see them from the most. So instead of managing your own list manually, you can let it do that on its own. As far as user profiles go, they do something slightly interesting here. They show in typical fashion, let's see if we can get a little closer in there, the number of tweets and all that, but then it also shows common interests, so between you and them, or that user or that account, how often are you guys talking about the same thing, and then also what their influence is, how often they tweet a link in their posts, and then give you some options that you can tag them with a specific color. Oh, my battery's running out there. Tag them with a specific color so that they pop out in the timeline for you. And there's also just some common friends and things of that sort. So going back out to the main interface, it scrolls extremely smoothly and works very well. It's kind of a neat user interface, I guess is just the best way to describe it. It's clean, no extra frills, just a good way to read, and that's shown off in the settings as well. There's just some basic settings, refresh, font size. We would like going forward some different theming options, maybe a hollow light theme. I happen to prefer over the hollow dark theme. And so speaking of that, we also have widgets available, and I think I've taken them off the home screen, so we'll just run through them really quick. Oh, gone too far. So they have a 4x1 that's available that looks really nice, that just has the number of mentions and direct messages and a new way to tweet. And then also they have just added in the latest beta a 4x2, and let's get rid of the small one then. They've added this 4x2 widget that's also a scrolling widget, which is nice, and then it's also resizable, and it pretty much just looks like a snapshot of the app. So you just have your account up here. For multiple accounts it's useful, and then just a tweet compose button that takes you there. Everything else works the exact same, and it's really nice. I compare it to what I have Plume here, and it's very comparable. It looks good, and again, very, very neat.